It is near here. You find it. You roll off the dragon's gregation back and slide down onto the wet grass. Careful not to step in the mud or to splash up at your dress. Dragon took you to a break in the wood, where a beautiful glistening waterfall cascades over luminescent rocks. The call of birds pouring to you made you smile up at the clear sky. The Kirishima land really is incredible.
How do you know?
It is around. Dragon cranes his neck, seemingly stretching in the laziest way you could think a mythical creature could. You huff.
So I see that there's an extent to the help you give.
You slide your hand across his hind legs, and he flops down onto the grass, shaking the earth underneath the two of you. He dips his thick tail into the pool and flicks it up, splashing you.
Hey!
Dragon barks out a laugh and rests his head down. Under the warm sun, his brilliant scales glow a magnificent crimson, and the splendid display sends goosebumps up your arms.
What was that for?
Resurfacing. Dragon hisses, his forked tongue sliding out of his mouth.
Yenta Vixa?
You repeat back to him, though your speech is awkward and extrinsic. You're hoping that those new words will have meaning to you once you see them, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You get a little bit excited thinking about getting back to Ujuru with new words that Dragon has told you. Maybe the next time you see Dragon, you surprise him. Was Yenta Vixa.
I am what?
You laugh, wiggling your damp dress out. Bad manners. Dragon remarks with one eye open, kneading his nails into the ground. Oh, so he thinks he can get comfortable while he got your dress wet?
You're one to talk, Lord Splashington.
You reach your hand into the pool and flick your wrist back over to him, but it's futile. The water you manage to splash back at him barely grazes his large surface. He doesn't even look back at you, but his tail does swipe at the ground you're standing on, and before you know it, you're toppling over into the pool.
Beastie!
You yell at him when you resurface, flapping your arms around to create waves that hardly lap at the side of his torso.
That's not fair.
Dragon mumbles something in Draconic you didn't understand and looks at you with widened eyes, as if he has no idea how he managed to fall in the water. You shake your head at him and kick your legs up to float in your back, looking up at the sky. You enjoy the cool soothing water contrasting with the heat of the sun. You find that it had to be mad with Dragon. The pool feels nice, and though it declines deep enough so you're not able to tell just how deep it is. You're not uncomfortable. Before your mother passed away, she would take you to a natural pool that the castle was built around, and have you float on your back to stare at the moon with her. You close your eyes and for a moment, you forget about your probably ruined dress, and the favor your husband asked of you. You relax, enjoying yourself and the incredible refreshing water. You think about Ujuru and wonder what sort of errands he had to run in the morning. You think about whether or not he's back by now, and if he's thinking about you too. Maybe he's missing you. You're sure that if he has an adventurous spirit, he'd probably already been to this waterfall before. It would be nice to show him what you found. What Dragon found. You probably wouldn't be able to find this place again without Dragon's help.
Thank you.
You whisper, not bothering to open your eyes, unsure if Dragon could even hear you. Suddenly, swift movement from underneath you disturbs the water and rocks your body back and forth. You open your eyes to see Dragon no longer sunbathing on the grass. You open your mouth to call out to him when something warm pushes against your side.
Ah!
You yelp out and kick away from Dragon's mischievous-looking face.
I didn't even hear you come in.
Dragon speaks even though his mind is submerged underwater. Svardarf sti tri ti tifon vihaithar vantevon ex shavar si spell.
Love princess on my back?
You pout your lips at your underwater companion, trying to figure out what it might have been saying. Loud princess? Loud?
I can be stealthy too, you know.
You grip and the dragon looks doubtful in return.
I can. I'm a princess from the kingdom. We are graceful.
Dragon's head cuts through the water and pushes your feet, making your body twirl around the pool. You let out a squeal of laughter and allow the water and dragon to spin you around and around until your face is red from giggling and you have to swim upright to stop your stomach from cramping. Dragon pushes his head against your body and you grab his snout to staple yourself. You look into his gorgeous ruby red eyes and wonder why on earth has an actual dragon decided to spend time with you of all people. You could ask him, but you're sure you wouldn't understand the answer. Hayar. He retreats, calling you loud again. His pupils dilate slightly when your mouth falls open in mock surprise.
You really like to pick on me, huh?
You make it easy for a dragon. You scoff at the beast. Nobody besides Mina ever really pokes fun at you before, and even she had a limit to what she would say since she was in your servitude. Nobody would ever call you the princess loud. Though you never really were loud up until you met this giant snarky dragon. And even if he is a legend and that he had graced you with his presence twice now, he should get a taste of his own medicine. After all, Ijiro told you that dragons were proud.
Well, two can play that game.
You grin.
I can be very mean even to poor lonely dragons.
Evacuel? Dragon tilts his head to the side, dipping the left half of your body further into the water.
Yeah, Eva, kill.
You grin sinisterly back at him and mimic his head tilted in an attempt to keep your heads leveled.
Does that mean lonely?
The dragon blows hot air at you and oh, did he just roll his eyes at you? Yes, princess, now, go on.
Eva, kill.
You hiss out again, scrunching your face while trying to sound as orny as possible.
Eva, kill drastic that likes to lie to a woman such as myself in hopes of kidnapping them. I'm sure your mademoiselle would be very disappointed in you.
I am still not sure if I will result wax or sun wax. He nearly purrs as if nothing you said has upset him in the slightest.
Sahushnia.
You repeat, Schnoi. He has said that to you before and always sounded like a threat.
Sonia V.
You dare? Unsure of what exactly you're telling him to do to you. Do not attempt me, princess. He glances down at your torso. You may not have enough meat on you, but I'm sure you are tasty. Vinyekar.
Beg pardon, beast?
You drop your hands and fall back into the water.
Have you been threatening to eat me?
Dragon's head dives back into the water and using his tail as a sort of rudder, he steals himself around you, whirling the water in circles, causing you to spin. Temp, he says, the draconic word for fast, and with the way half of his head is submerged under the water, he looks more predatory than he ever has been before, like a crocodile.
You don't actually plan on eating me, do you?
You spin your body to keep your eyes on the quick creature, half worried that he might actually take a bite of you at any moment. Are you done trying to insult a dragon, or is that all you have for me? You scowl at him, trying to kick your legs fast enough to keep up with his circling. For such a giant animal, he really was quick both in the sky and in the water. It's hard to understand the delicate. It's hard to tell if he's enjoying himself, but the question is that all you have for me? Almost sounded like he was edging you on.
Oh, proud creature.
You smirk.
I'm just getting started.
Do your worst. You honestly didn't know what to say or even how to say it. How does one actually insult a dragon that's actually asking for it? And then you remember the words that your husband taught you. You know that it's supposed to be insulting to draconics, but you wonder how effective it is on actual dragons. You might as well find out.
Narivios Marog.
You roll your eyes and direct the insult at your predator, daring to even stick your tongue out at him even when you know that you've nailed the word. Ugly cow breed. Dragon's sharp eye flick towards you and you know you're in trouble when his claws turn into slits. Panic shakes you when his head disappears underwater and his tail slaps at the surface before following him down.
Oh dear.
You say when hot bubbles begin to erupt from the depths of the pool. You start to swim as fast as possible you can to the edge of the pool, but unfortunately for you, a legendary creature was bent on capturing you. A flash of red from underneath catches your attention, and you scream as Dragon rapidly approaches. His speed is insane, and as he resurfaces, he hooks his bottom teeth on the back of your dress, carrying you up as he leaps out of the pool. Profanities that have never been once grazed your tongue slip out of your mouth, while Dragon carries you in his mouth like a lioness with her cub. You kick your legs around with a desperate need to find the sturdy surface, and Dragon grunts before laying you down on the damp grass. His footsteps tremor the ground, something you've learned that he knows how to control. He places his front feet at both of your sides and lets out a deep rumbling that shakes you to the core. His sharp eyes look at your face, and he bares his ivory teeth at you. You laugh, and you don't know why, but you laugh. You reach up and place your hand on his worm snout and increases it upwards, smiling like a fool at the world-ending creature, and laugh some more.
I'm sorry, Dragon.
You say.
I don't really think that about you.
I know. His pupils dilate back to normal. He huffs hot air back at you. You have already told me that I am boreal. You laugh once again, nearly charmed by the fact that Dragon remembered that you called him beautiful when you first saw him the previous day. It was the only draconic word you knew, but it was ordered for him. You cover your face to hide your goofy smile. You're probably too excited or nervous by what just happened, but you couldn't stop yourself from erupting in fits of giggles. You laugh until Dragon's forked tongue slithers out of his mouth and drags across your face at the second time that day.
Oh!
You squeal and squirm backwards, wiping the dragon germs off your face.
You've got to stop that.
I love that. He plops down in front of you, turning his head away and resting in his paws.
Love what?
You continue to wipe your face with the back of your hand.
So gross.
Genshgnash, he stares at you out of the corner of his scarred eye. You blush, reminiscing on the previous night with Ejuru. You didn't know how much time he has been wasted through, though you are sure that a lot of it has been made up by how quickly Dragon got you here. Still, you didn't want the prince waiting on you. You stand and sigh, and when the material of your dress clings to your body, you catch Dragon staring down at you, and you quickly turn away.
Ice yourself, reptile.
You hiss, though you can feel your face flushing even deeper. Why in the hell are you embarrassed in front of that dragon? Maybe it's because he himself has a human wife? But that shouldn't matter to you since Dragon made from life. That should mean that he wouldn't see you as any sort of romantic interests, especially since you have told him that you have a husband yourself. You sigh and reach around the unmistakable hole in the top of your dress, from where Dragon grabbed you. If you had been back in the kingdom you've made, you would have been upset. Not because you cared much for what you were wearing, besides when it came to looking decent in front of your new kingdom, but because you would have gotten into a lot of trouble for looking like a wet goat on the off chance that Mina wasn't there to sneak you back into your room after a particularly dirty misadventure. Your father would have your head if he saw you right now, but you didn't think that your husband was the type of man to care about your appearance. He might even like seeing you looking like a little bit more feral. You grin at the thought.
So, where did you say the golden rose was again?
Dragon ships from behind you. Nice try, I got you here. You'll find it. Your royal eyes. Apparently, there was no getting smart with the legendary king of creatures. You look back to see Dragon sitting with his hind legs out in front of him. A small, fairly cute yellow belly forming an oval shape from underneath him. He looks at you with his silly yet challenging dragon face. You shake your wet hair out and smile up at him.
You know, you kinda look like a fat cat when you're sitting like that.
Dragon's eyes widen slightly, but his pupils dilate to such a wide extent that it almost washes out in his crimson irises. Varus work vi tråk, he growls out, and though you're not sure what he said, you figured it was probably an insult.